third man in the cage. And the instruction right away to start the fight from Gilbert Smith to Dave Mcintosh, flip the switch.
There you go, set that pace.
Yeah.
Nice.
Want to know?
He's going to want to blitz.
Be wary of that big right hand from Conor Leonard. He's already got it cocked and ready to go.
Yeah, show him that. Yeah, look. You saw that? He saw it.
McIntosh's game plan here should be to stay long there because he is the longer fighter. It looks like he might be the faster fighter. Waiting to see Leonard explode here.
In relation to that big right hand, how does this southpaw versus orthodox matchup line up?
You know, it's really good for the guy who wants to go the big right hand. Typically, you want to lead with your lead hand, right, in an orthodox versus orthodox or southpaw versus southpaw. But when it's a switch stance like that, you want to lead rear hand first. So it lines up pretty nicely for both guys, but especially for Conor, who has that cement brick in his right hand.
Yeah, and we can already see the flashes of that power coming through. He's a blitzer who wants to move forward with that power.
Step to the outside. Step to the outside for me.
Yeah, you know, he landed a couple big shots, which were able to back Day up. You know, Day was doing a good job of being the forward fighter. But Conor's landing when he goes forward. You know, he's fast, he's explosive.
But, you know, he's coming in straight. Would you like to see him maybe work an angle a little bit more?
Absolutely, you know, and then finish. You know, he's kind of finishing off balance because he's throwing so hard. I'd like to see him kind of slow, just take maybe 10% off what he's throwing and stay balanced in his strikes. He was in a bad spot. He's in about to get to half guard. It looks like. You know, it's always interesting to see how a wrestler reacts when he's on his back for the first time.
He did get a submission in his last fight from that, so you know that could be at least something that he's not in complete form of. But I will say, though, that on the flip side of things, Dave Mcintosh has been active on the grappling scene. We both were in the Fight to Win tournament just a couple of weeks ago, and you know it's always great to see these guys in every bit of competition aspect possible in the early stages of their career.
And McIntosh is doing a good job right here. With Leonard trying to roll and be explosive from the bottom, McIntosh isn't trying to do too much. He's just trying to settle him down, waiting for him to give him an opportunity.
Keep scoring.
Yeah, you know, this explosion by Leonard is great for McIntosh. It's going to really slow him down, especially if it goes into the later rounds. You know, he's doing a lot of work. Not a ton of technical work on the bottom. He's not building frames. He's not shrimping. There he goes. It's all explosion.
We might have an armbar set up right here by Dave Mcintosh. Conor Leonard he has his elbow clear. He's safe right now.
His elbow down to the mat. Now Leonard ends up on top. Now he's going to try and posture up. How much time does he have left? Not enough.
After one round, the crowd is on their feet here from the Great Divide in River North, Denver.
The thing about these amateur fights is they're only 3-minute rounds. You know, there was a lot to unpack in that 3 minutes. The first minute and a half looked like Conor maybe was getting the best of him on the feet. The last minute and a half, he got put in a little bit of danger, armbar trouble, and was controlled on the ground. So as a judge, you know, it's going to be hard to score that round.
Certainly. We have probably about a minute worth of control time on the ground along with the submission attempt and not heavy voluminous damage, but there was points scored from the top. So as you said, Cody, that's one tough round to score if you're one of the three men sitting cage side.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a cornerman, you know, you want to err on the side of caution. So if I'm in their corner, I'm telling them, hey, we lost that round. We got to go get these next two.
Very well said. And this is the stiffest test for each guy so far in their career. I like what I'm seeing so far from each guy, though. I mean, they're ready to roll right now. Clear eyes and a head full steam in the second round.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the skill level has just upped here in this fight. Both guys understand that the guy across from them, they're evenly matched.
Goes right to the rear naked choke. He doesn't have the hooks. It's an off position, but it's a nasty crank.
Tight squeeze.
You're okay. You're okay, Dave. You're okay. Keep turning.
It's a really nasty crank right now. I can't tell the angle if he might get the sub, but it is. It's got to feel
He
good.
wants to come into him here. If he turns away, he's going to give him the choke.
Drop it out. There you go. Come on top. Come on top. Yeah, let's go. There we
And
go.
great escape right there from Mcintosh. Ends up on top in Conor Leonard's guard.
Both guys have to be spent there. The squeeze that Leonard had there, and Mcintosh getting rocked in and choked immediately. Both guys are going to probably take a second to catch their wits about him.
There we go. All right, punch. Watch on.
Conor Leonard with the armbar set up.
That looks deep,
It does look
Curtsy.
deep right here.
Mcintosh
Mcintosh
doing
trying
a
to
great
put his
job.
way out. He's got those long limbs. Does his leg have enough to be able to extend and get himself out of danger?
Very smart move by Mcintosh to drop down to his hip and get his legs involved to fight.
He's got his elbow clear.
Get on top. Sit up.
Mcintosh is trying to end up on top here in the transition, and he ends up back on top in the guard of Conor Leonard.
Score from here. There we go. Score from here. Come on the inside, Dave. Come on the inside. Hands on the inside, punch.
And the blue corner right here of Dave Mcintosh asking for him to score. For those at home who are listening, that means by scoring, you want to do strikes, that ground and pound damage in these positions right now.
Yes, posture up. Dave, posture up. Punch. Come on, posture.
Right there.
Yes.
Mcintosh is starting to posture up and land some ground and pound, but he just walked himself right into an armbar.
just
His
walked
triangle
himself
setup.
into an armbar.
This is deep. This is deep. Conor Leonard might break that arm.
Turn.
That is tight,
This is so
Curtsy.
tight right now.
Oh
That is
my.
such a squeeze and extension. But he's a god. Dave Mcintosh is a dog.
Left hand punch, Dave.
Wow,
There you go.
Curtsy.
There you go.
His elbow was being bent the wrong way. What a dog to fight through that.
And that's right in front of us, folks. You could see the intensity of the squeeze on Conor Leonard. And that is a strong human being, so you know that elbow had to be tested from Dave Mcintosh.
That was a good one. Come up the punch. A good one. Again. There you go. Again. Wait.
Curtsy, I'm interested in how they're going to score this because there was 2 arm bars that were super tight, super close. How do you not give them points for that?
Yeah, I think that right now we're walking into this third 1-1, but what do I know?
Yeah, you know, like I said, if I'm in the corner, I'm going to err on the side of caution. I'm going to tell my guy, hey, you need to finish because very well either guy could be down 2-0 right now. These rounds have been razor close. With Leonard kind of leading the dance on the feet, and then on the ground, you know, he put him in a lot of trouble.
And just as you guys mentioned, the max effort that's been given by each of these fighters, right now, Dave Mcintosh got a little bit of an elevation assistance from Gilbert Smith getting to the stool right there. And as you'll see from the video feed, Gilbert's rubbing out the arms, trying to get that blood taken care of, not letting it pull up in his arm so he can go out there as fresh as humanly possible for this third round.
Both gentlemen just staring each other down going into this third round.
And both guys touch him up to start the third.
Right. Bring that kick.
If I'm Conor Leonard, I'm going to step back half a beat. You know, he kind of got overcommitted. He hurt him bad, overcommitted, lost position. Same thing kind of happened in the first round where Dave was able to get that body lock because Conor was overcommitting to his strikes. If he just takes off about half a beat, I think he'll be able to land and kind of be in control.
Totally agreed. And guys, I have to say one thing too. Dave Mcintosh, because he's a very wiry build, he is way stronger than he looks.
Well, I'll just speak on half of all the tall, skinny, wiry people out here. Yes, we are, Curtsy. Yes, we are.
Fair point. Why not go to the expert? Right now, as far as the action, we have Dave Mcintosh on top. We do have the start of a Kimura grip formulated by Conor Leonard from the bottom, looking to try to potentially use that as a sweeper and escape out of damage. Or out of trouble.
Yeah, Dave needs to get his head inside or get his palm up. You know, those are the 2 basic defenses for this. If not, you know, he's stepping over, which is, like you said, he's tall and long, but it's not going to really stop Conor from being able to rip that Kimura if he can get it out from inside.
No, I think, Cody, it might be a thing right now that he's stepping over just enough to neutralize him to where maybe the sweat or maybe a fatigue in the grip from Conor allows him to pull that arm out. And if he does get that arm out, he's in a good position to take the back.
Yeah, if you're Leonard here, you got to let that go, and you got to start working to a better position because this could be a 1-1 fight here.
He's doing a great job. He was trapping that hand around the back. You know, that long frame allows him to be able to do that. Right now we have Dave Mcintosh on top in full mount. Grapevine's in. We do have Connor Leonard pulling him down in tight. Whereas I would like to see him get a frame and try to work to a hip, get out of the grapevine and recollect his guard or try to escape out the side.
Yeah, you know, he's trying to just use all hips here. He's posting on top of the head. Or holding the head, rather. He needs to build those frames if he wants to get out here.
But just as we mentioned, someone who is as long and wiry the way that Dave Mcintosh is, the power of jiu-jitsu in that sense, when he can secure those grapevines and create the steering wheel, if you will, that's a very tough thing to manage if you're the shoulder guy.
This is a great job by Mcintosh, just continuing to work Leonard over to Mcintosh's corner where he can have his coaches in his ear leading him on to a possible victory here.
Right here!
You know what? We're seeing some savvy veteran moves from these two amateurs right now tonight. They just keep on growing by leaping down every single time that we see them.
Explode! Last
10 seconds to be seen.
There we go! Yeah!
What a fight, ladies and gentlemen, between Dave Mcintosh and Connor Leonard.
When it comes to heart and technique, Curtsy, that right there was an extremely entertaining fight.
Incredible. That right there was everything that we teased it to be. Both guys were able to do damage at certain points. Both guys were in advantageous positions. Back and forth action the entire fight. How will the judges see it? We will know shortly. Cody, what do you have?
I mean, for sure, Dave Mcintosh dominated that third round. Not a ton of damage, but control time for sure was going to give it to him. I don't know about the first two, man. The way judging has been lately, I'll say in the last 8 months to a year, control is just not scored as highly as you would think. Before you take someone down, you hold them down for 3 minutes, you win the round, guaranteed, no questions asked. Now, if you got beat up for 2 minutes and then lay on somebody for 3 minutes, they're just not going to give you that anymore. Especially with the submission threat that Connor was able to present. I would not be shocked if we had 29-28 Connor, or at the very least a split decision. You know, it's just it's tough to score. But I just felt like Connor was able to do more damage. He was able to threaten with the submissions. Obviously, you know, that third round's got to go today. It was great adjustments by him, but I have no idea how this way is going to go. I wouldn't want to have money on this fight.
Definitely. If we're going by body language alone, we see a very upbeat spirit from Dave Mcintosh.
I think that both of these guys are going to learn valuable lessons as amateurs in this. Just they both came across a guy who was just as good as them, if not a little bit better, that pushed them to fight past some walls that they had and be a little more technical. Both these guys learned a lot in this fight.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, both guys had 100% finish rate coming into this contest. They both had to go into deep water, and as you mentioned, the lessons that they will gain from this, obviously one man will come out of here with the lesson, but both guys will be able to learn incredible lessons and just experience to gain for future contests. Our official ruling.
Score is about 29-28, Mcintosh. Judge Young score is about 29-28, Mcintosh. Judge Short score is about 30-27, the winner